Ladies, ladies and gentlemen, but ladies, how are your emotions feeling? How are you truly doing? And the whole idea of this conversation today with Sarah and I is about your emotions when you are tapped in to the 90-day reset. Friends, this conversation's for you. Don't tune it out, and we'll see you soon. You're listening to the Essential Oils Scoop podcast. We're here to help you confidently using essential oils in your daily life. No fluff, just real talk and practical tips. Each episode brings you education, inspiration, and of course, our scoop of the day. Let's elevate your wellness one drop at a time. Sarah and I noticed that in our 90-day reset when we did it the first time, we were comparing notes, true like emotional notes here, and there were some very familiar like emotions that both Sarah and I walked through. And we're like, this is a great conversation to have. Why not press record and have this candid conversation with you about the emotions that you're going to feel, or we're assuming you felt because Sarah and I just walked through it of your emotions. Sarah, like, can you explain why this is important for everyone to tap into?
Well, so I'm going through the second half of I'm doing it again, right? So I'm
Mhm.
going through this right this second. I was like on some had to take some medication for a short period of time, and I knew I needed to do like the full the cleanse part again. Like I knew I needed to because I want to get some of that residual stuff out of my system, right?
Mhm.
So I'm starting to go through it again. And I can tell you last night, it was so interesting. I'm just sitting there and I was watching, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I'll put a plug in for this movie. Um, oh, wait, I can't remember Incredibly Bright Creatures on Netflix.
Okay.
Super cute, feel good, love it. Sally Field, oh my gosh, so good. Like, not and different. It's a different. I don't want to spoil. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but basically she's going to retire from her job and she's got this young kid who's coming into this job, who's taking over. And she's trying to teach him how to do this job. And he's had a really hard life, like really hard life. And she's gone through some hard things. And there's an octopus involved. And the octopus is wise. And it's so cute. It is the cutest movie I have seen in a very long time and so different. And I have to tell you, I was crying and laughing, and it was so good. So I'm just going to give that a plug
Okay.
really quick. But I also want to highlight that I was crying, I was laughing, my emotions were all over the place. And I was like, after the movie was done, I was feeling the feels. Like I was feeling it. I was like, okay, I'm just like in this very emotional moment of like feeling the loud feelings of sadness and despair and like feeling some self-doubt and feeling some like I'm not good enough. And like there was a lot coming through and I was like, holy cow, what is happening? And then it hit me. Oh yeah, it restarted again. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot what this feels like. So some people will quit, right? Some people stop because they're like, oh, I'm feeling yucky. So that must be a sign. It is not a
Yeah.
sign to
The
quit.
complete opposite. You don't want to stop what's coming out. What's coming out is meant to unfold.
Yeah.
It's not a side effect. And
Mm-mm.
that's what the conversation before we pressed record a while back was, this isn't a side effect. You're not allergic to this phase, the second phase of the emotional detox.
No. You're having, it's like, it's finally starting to clear out your system. You're starting to clear out some things. And I was just like, okay, buckle up. We're having a roller coaster ride, right? Like we're gonna roll through this. And so I went through it. I was like, okay, what is coming up for me? What is this? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling like things aren't working out? Like, because things are working out amazing. Like, if I stop to really analyze my life right this second, I've got an amazing life. And I'm not saying that
Yeah.
just to be like braggy, but like, I have so many good things happening in my life. Now, if you know me personally, you know we've had a very crazy month and a half, 6 weeks, eight
Hmm.
weeks. It's been insane. It has actually
Hmm.
been truly insane. Probably the last, 8 to 9ish weeks have been like this
It's been wild. Wild.
unbelievable. Like if I wrote it
Hmm.
all down for you, you'd be like, that happened in only 8 weeks of your life. And I'd be here to tell you yes. It's like it's been wild.
Like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, like you wouldn't just make it up in your head and throw it in the basket, and then it probably happened.
Like it's
Uh-huh.
crazy how much has happened. However, through it all, like I
Mhm.
have a great I like things are so good. Like the life is good. Like I have a great life. And so I was like, why am I feeling these things? And this is what it is. It is I need to detox some more. And I'm detoxing. I mean, as you lose weight, by the way, you actually are detoxing some of that. So what happens? Let's talk about weight for one tiny second because I know some people do cleanses and stuff because they want to
Shed
most
some fluff.
yeah, most people, right? I mean, there are some of those that can't afford to. And I'm not
Hmm.
talking to you right this second. We'll talk to you in a second. But I'm talking to those of you who are like, if I lost an extra 5 pounds, I wouldn't be mad. Okay. But let's talk about fat for a second and what happens. So sometimes what happens is we get chemicals in our body and fat will form around those chemicals. The fat cells will go and cling to those bad chemicals. Okay.
As a
And
protective layer.
as a protective layers to protect your organs from this these bad things. Okay. So your
Mhm.
fat cells will like glob around this bad stuff. Okay. And it'll do it to protect you and to protect your organs. So what happens is if you when you start to detox, that fat starts to come away from the chemical starts to dissolve, the fat starts to dissolve, so visceral fat starts to go, which is the bad fat, like the yellow gross bad fat is the visceral fat. And then you start to get, I forget there's a term for it, but there's then you start to feel like a squishmallow. You're starting to feel squishy in areas because that visceral fat is starting to go, and so now it's like white fat. Okay, I don't know if this makes any sense to anybody, but you can
If
look
you've
this up.
ever been on a waterbed, that's the closest that I can come to like how it feels.
The jiggle. Like it's weird.
Yes.
You've lost a bunch of weight. The scale is telling you so. Your measurements might not tell you so because it's like jiggly. And so you've some of it's loose skin. I'm not gonna say it's not, but a lot of it is this you've lost some visceral fat. Now you're starting to like get into like the white fat. I don't know how to describe this, but anyway, as you are detoxing, your fat and some of those cells also holds some of your emotion.
Hmm.
So as you're starting to, these fat cells are starting to shrink, the emotion is out there. It's starting to release into your body. And it's like, oh, and you're feeling things and you're seeing things, and it's not a sign to quit. Like so many people are like, well, if I try this again and it doesn't work for me, I'm just going to quit. Don't do that. It's working. Be patient. Work with it. It's why it's called a 90-day reset. And that's why there's 3 phases of it. It's not
Hmm.
because it's a quick fix. Everybody wants a freaking quick fix. They just want to take a pill and lose the weight, or take a shot, lose the weight, or do something and have it be fixed.
Have that thing solve the problem, the issue, the concern. Beautiful soul, it doesn't work that way. It never will. It never has. And it doesn't do that. It takes time. Again, that whole saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. Your body is not going to restore itself in a week. It just isn't.
No, my doctor, I used to get frustrated after I'd have my babies because I wasn't like my body was changed and metamorphosized into something different, right? And my doctor used to say, it took you 9 months to get into this situation. It's going to take you at least 9 months to get back, right? Like, so however old you are, how many ever years young you are, 40 something years going on here, that's what you've put into your body for the last 40 years. So cleanses aren't going to fix in a week. Cleanses don't fix in a day. They don't fix quickly. It takes, that's why it's called a 90-day reset. It's going to take 90 whole days to reset your body. including
Hmm.
your emotions. And I hate to tell
Hmm.
you this, but 90 days is not going to fix your emotions either. You have to be, this is a continual process of working on yourself, working on the emotions. You've got 30, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years. Some people have, 80 years of emotions. It's not going to happen in one session an emotional coaching session or an emotion code session or anything like that. It
Hmm.
takes time. Therapy takes time. Everything takes time. We're in
Hmm.
this like instant gratification era of the world. Think about it. If it can't be at your house in 2 days or less, you're like, well, gosh, that's gonna, whatever. You get frustrated
Yeah.
with
Uh-huh.
how it's not happening. Or you're like, I'm just gonna run to the store and buy it right now because it's gonna take 2 days to get here. I'll
Hmm.
pay a little extra because it's gonna take longer to get here. How many of you
Hmm.
done that? Because I know I have. I just
Hmm.
did that yesterday. I went and bought something because I was like, oh, the store that I really wanted to buy it from is an hour and a half, almost 2 hours from my house. I did not want to drive 2 hours, and they weren't going to ship until the middle of June. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just going to have to go get a knockoff of it and get it this other thing because I didn't want to wait for the shipping, right? Didn't want to wait. So actually, I didn't pay more. I paid a slightly bit less, but I got something it wasn't exact. It was similar, but not exact because we live in this instant gratification. I wanted it now. And that is the way our results are. We want it now. We want to see results now. But I will tell
Hmm.
you, as I've been on this like 6, 7, almost 7 month journey of weight loss and working on myself, it doesn't happen just because you want it to and instantaneously. It's a
Hmm.
process. A process means it's going to take longer than 3 days.
Correct. And tying that back into the detox, the 90-day detox, the reason Sarah and I are having these conversations, and yes, we're gonna discuss phase three about your emotions that connect into your 90-day detox because it's just as important. So this phase two of your emotional detox, when you're doing the 90-day reset, it is not those signals that you may be interpreting as, oh, I might be having a reaction. No, almost never. However, we're not a doctor, so you need to do you. Like your body will give you signs if and when it is a hard stop for you. But just because you're experiencing more agitation, your internal dialogue is a little screwy, that is not a signal from your body saying stop, stop, stop. It's saying, hey, these things are coming up because you are moving through this phase of the reset. And it's something to address. We're not broken. We definitely need support. Sarah and I believe in our higher power and we lean on God all the dang time and our awareness. But we have this tool called the Essential Emotions book. Get it, get the app. It's down in our show notes always, because this is a very crucial tool in our daily lives. I'm on the app every day, every single day, because I really want to know what the heck is going on in between my ears, on my heart. If for some reason all of a sudden I'm having some pains in my abdomen, but it's not like normal food pains or like it's not normal for me. I'm like, okay, my body's saying, hey, Vicky, pause. This is what it is. And it always lands every single
Yeah.
time without fail,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
period. You can't make this stuff up. Our bodies were created in such a way that it will signal to us those red light, green lights, yellow lights of, hey, okay, 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 like I need you to pay attention to this. And when you're moving through a detox, any kind of detox, Sarah was just talking about, with your visceral fat, with any kind of fat that's moving, your emotions are stored in all areas of your body. So things are moving and shifting, not just physically, but emotionally. So buckle up, Buttercup, because it's a great ride to ride. If your awareness is there and you have the tools necessary, and friends, if you're listening to this podcast, you sure as you know what have those tools. And if not, grab one of our links, get your tools right now.
Yeah. Um, one of the things that the book talks about with self-doubt, because self-doubt comes up a lot for us, right? Like
Mhm.
insecurities, self-doubts, like just feeling like we're not good enough, we're not enough, we're not whatever, like sadness, like we just have a lot of emotions. But it talks about one of the things, why have I lost confidence? Why have I lost confidence? And I had to sit with that question last night. Have I lost confidence in myself and like what I'm doing? And I'm like thinking about all the things leading up to this point in my life. And I'm like, oh God, like I am where I'm supposed to be and I'm meant to be at this moment. So why have I lost my confidence in that? And I had to like kind of shake myself back up, like, hey, wake up. You're okay. Another question is, what am I basing my worth on? Ooh.
That is a big one. That is such a big one. Can you repeat it for the people in the back? I love it.
What am I basing my worth on? Do you base it on a work success? Do you base it on a,
Your social media feed?
yeah,
That's a big
do you
one.
base it on your bank account? What do you base this on? Like where is this coming from? What are you basing your worth on? And it's interesting. I was talking to somebody from a different country, and he said one of the things he said to me, and I've thought about this for since he said it. Americans always when they like introduce themselves, we always talk about what we do for a living. He's like, it's like that's what you put your whole worth in is what you do. What that's like the most important thing to you. And I was like, man, that isn't what the most important thing is to me is. But that is the conversation when we introduce ourselves to someone. Hi, my name is blah blah blah, and I'm a blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
We
Hi, my
talk
name is
about
Vicky Labrillia, and I'm a.
uh
Mhm.
and we fill in the blanks, right? And he's like, if you talk to other people, they very rarely talk about their jobs because that's not what's important, but that's what Americans hold important. And I was like,
You're not the first person. You're not the first person to mention that, but I'm glad you're bringing it to light here. Um, because if it's the first time you've heard this, it's a little mind blowing. You start thinking, wait, what? You start thinking of how you introduce yourself. You're thinking of your inner circle of how your people that you're connected to introduce themselves and thinking this is just normal. The assumption is everybody does this. Like that's just what you were taught to do and say. It's part of your identity. It is your identity. You make it your identity. And then
mm,
it's like that slippery slope. Did you hear what Sarah just said? Fascinating. What did this person tell you is their version of an introduction of like who they are?
he told me his name, he told me his lineage,
That's awesome.
he told me about his kids, he told me about his wife, he told me about the things that he holds dearest. And I was like, I would never sit there and talk about my lineage. Like, I don't like, do you really care? Yes, I have ancestors that were on the Mayflower. Do you care about that? Like, I mean, it's a cool little factoid, right, about Sarah. Like, oh, you have ancestors that came across on the Mayflower. Like, I can tell you, I'm a direct descendant of Priscilla Mullins and John Alden. And like, their little love story that people know, like, but there's a lot of other descendants of, like, and so I don't really hold that. But like, when I said that to him, he goes, that is who you are. That is what makes who you are. And I was like, he goes, it's your ancestry. That's who you are. And I was like, oh wow. That was a very different way of looking at things. It was just very different and it was interesting. It was a little eye-opening of where do we get our inner worth from? Um, and then this one is this last question is so good because it goes right along with that. What will it take for me to be at peace with who I am?
And this is not just like a two sentence answer. This is lengthy
This is a
as it
deeper
should be.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
These deeper questions are there in the book to make you think. They're not there just to like fill up pages, okay?
Mhm.
They are there for a purpose. And let's go over some of the oils that are for, when you're thinking about insecure and self-doubt and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, Cassia, that's the oil of self-assurance. Laurel leaf, the oil of victory, of not
Mhm.
being like of there's a line in Laurel Leaf that I absolutely love, and it talks about like being triumphant in your own life. Like you're the victor, not not the victim, and I love that. Um, Bergamot,
Mhm.
that's a great one. That's
Yeah.
so good.
I just diffused that last night. I like poured it out in my bedroom diffuser. I love it. And I really love the next one.
Beautiful. Do we not talk about beautiful enough? I think yeah, we love beautiful. Beautiful is an
No,
amazing, amazing oil for self-confidence. It is so
it's
good.
so good. It is so good. Seriously, doTERRA, hey, if you're listening, what's up? Hi, we love you. Can you please make a pump bottle of beautiful? Thank you so much.
Keep it. Nile wood, and I actually am
Mhm.
gonna I'm actually gonna read Nile wood to you because I think well a little por just a teeny tiny little portion. Is
Sensitive strength, Nile wood. Ooh, this is gonna be good.
because
Hmm.
I love Nile wood, and we don't I want to say we don't get we don't get it very often. Like it's in our Frankenstick, but we don't get it to have like by
No,
itself
and I
very
hoard it.
often.
I have a FOMO of running out, so I don't use it as often as I could. I'm just being honest with you, but it is in our Frankenstick. So,
So I love this line. It's in the middle paragraph and it says Nile Wood encourages individuals to reflect on how they react to criticism and disapproval and helps them to uncover what their self-esteem relies too heavily on others' approval. Okay. Really, really love that. This oil really helps with illumination and our validation for acceptance. So, where are we trying to get this acceptance from? So, if you were struggling with that, Nilewood might be the answer that you are looking for, as far as like feeling some of that self-doubt and insecurity. Um,
well, Sarah, I think it will allow people to sit with this even more. So even everything that Sarah just said, I would actually lean into this. I would open up the bottle, take a couple deep breaths, and have this internal dialogue because any outside validation that you're looking for is never going to be enough because it always, 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 always has to come from within.
yeah, for
The
sure.
external is, mm-mm.
Then you've got cinnamon, which is for sexuality and things, and that absolutely we can be very insecure with our bodies, insecure with how we feel about our bodies, insecure with how we are because of trauma, because of our body. Like there's so much there.
Mhm.
Then you've got citrus bliss. And you're like, oh,
Mhm.
I love citrus bliss. But citrus bliss, it's a fire starter. It's going to start you to feel good again and again and again. And it's got all those citrus oils. So it's so good. Lavender,
Mhm.
confidence, calmness. Like that is going to give you the confidence to speak, confident speech. Like it's going to give you that ability to communicate, to feel like you can communicate your feelings better in a calm way.
In a
And then
calm,
you've got
yeah,
pink,
in a calm way.
and then you've got
Hmm.
pink pepper, intrinsic value, and like feeling like that's from within, right? Like Vicky was just talking about that deep feeling from within that you can't get from external happiness or external things. And you've got meta power, which is amazing,
Hmm.
amazing for
Yeah.
confidence in your body and how you look and how you feel and like all the things, right? And
Mhm.
then you've got gardenia, which love, 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 love.
I've been using my roller more often lately with gardenia, but
With deep.
gardenia is the oil of friendship. So,
Mhm. And
hmm
gardenia is so good with magnolia.
Mm.
Like gardenia and magnolia are just amazing together. Anyway, I hope this has given you some like ideas of like, what do I need to work on? And I hope it's giving you confidence of like, you're not alone in feeling some of these extra feels in that detox process. And I hope this is also giving you some confidence in knowing like, you're not alone and this is normal. And now
Yeah.
this is what I get to work through.
Yes, and we get to. It's a choice that we get to make. The the undercurrent of this conversation is what Sarah just said. It is you aren't broken. If you are feeling the feels, if you have a heightened awareness now after this conversation of feeling that the heaviness, the self-doubt, the criticism, the conversation between your ears is getting really loud and you're like, what the heck is going on? Like, is something wrong with me? No, something's not wrong with you. You're actually detoxing emotionally and physically. So with pairing of the book, with pairing of some of these oils for self-doubt, this can help you lift some of that heaviness into awareness and action. We get to take action. We get to love on ourselves in a different way. We get to have these sometimes hard conversations with ourselves because when we do so, it opens up so much more love and light, period. It does. Like the when you sit in it for even just like 2 minutes and you dialogue through some of these questions, you'll be amazed, absolutely amazed at what comes through to you.
Yeah.
You really will. And I do have to plug in, make sure you're hydrating, okay? With any kind of detox, especially in phase two, you're now what? On week 5 through 8 of your 90-day cleanse. Please make sure, like water check here, make sure you are drinking your water. And MetaPower is a great tool to use in your water with this. Uh, I just, when we have a stagnant emotions, one of the things we can do is moving our body and making sure we're hydrated. That's for everyday life, but in this conversation of the 90-day detox, and we're talking emotions here, please make sure you're drinking the proper amount of water for yourself through this.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so for my scoop of the day, I actually want to read this meditation so that you can re-listen
Mm,
to the end of this podcast and go through this meditation as you're smelling your oil after you've worked out these questions. So go back to those look deeper questions
mhm,
that I just read to you. Um,
mhm.
I want you to listen to this meditation and hold your oil and smell the oil as you're listening to this next part. So,
So, Sarah, I will not have a scoop because I think this is perfect. So, friends, anchor into this. When she is done, the episode is over, and we'll see you in the next one, okay?
see your insecurities falling like leaves in the wind. Watch them blow far away from you until they disappear. Feel yourself freed from the weight of comparison and worry. See your feet anchored to the earth, drawing strength and confidence into you. And close your eyes, lifting to see the truth of who you really are. Visualize breaking free of your self imposed limitations, moving towards your dreams, confident in the possibilities and promise that await you. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode and are feeling inspired to dive in even deeper into the world of essential oils. Want exclusive offers, content, and recipes? Click on the newsletter link in the show notes today. Looking for even more wellness inspiration? Dive into our previous episodes and stay in the loop by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the Essential Oil Scoop Podcast. Thanks for being a part of our Essential Oil family. And remember, hit the subscribe button to be notified every time we upload a brand new episode.